Back at 6:42, and we have such a rich presidential history here in Western New York, including the fact that it was a Buffalonian who led the campaign that in large part resulted in the holiday that we celebrate today.
That's right. And so on this President's Day edition of the Unknown Stories, we look back on the day that Abraham Lincoln came to Buffalo and take you to the spot where he prayed. Oh yeah, and we'll introduce you to the man behind the holiday. At 4:30 on the afternoon of February 16, 1861, the locomotive came into sight, steaming toward the Exchange Street station, touching off a level of excitement the young city of Buffalo had never experienced before.
He was on the train to go to Washington to be inaugurated and made a series of stops along the way to greet his well-wishers, and we were one of them.
And greet well-wishers he did. By the time he reached the American Hotel, which sat where Main Place Mall is today, a crowd of tens of thousands had amassed to catch a glimpse of the president-elect.
We had the advantage of one stop, meet a lot of people. It was convenient by rail, and I'm guessing he had a lot of voters here.
That night, he was the guest of honor at a reception full of dignitaries, the who's who of early Buffalo and beyond. Among them, former President Millard Fillmore.
He spent some time in the company of Millard Fillmore, and they went to Fillmore's church.
Fillmore's home at the time was on Niagara Square, where the Statler stands today. And on Sunday, the 17th, Mr. and Mrs. Fillmore picked up the president-to-be in their carriage and escorted him to their church, the First Unitarian Church at Eagle and Franklin.
You can kind of make out where the same window openings and entrance, but it underwent a dramatic remodeling in the 1880s, and that's what it looks like today.
That's right. The building still stands today, now known as the Title Guarantee Building, and a bronze plaque commemorates the morning that our 16th president spent in worship. One major reason for Abraham Lincoln's Queen City stop was the time to spend with Fillmore, of whom he had great respect. But his popularity here was evident by the crowds that came out to see him throughout his two-day visit and the passion that was exhibited.
Lincoln was so popular here that it was a Buffalonian who started the campaign to have Lincoln's birthday declared a national holiday.
That Buffalonian was Julius Francis, who ran a drugstore for over 30 years. After Lincoln's assassination, he became so absorbed with the president that he made it his mission in life to push Congress for a national holiday. And he spent his own money for annual commemorations of Lincoln's birthday here in Buffalo. He also founded the Buffalo Lincoln's Birthday Association.
Julius's campaign was successful, maybe not in his lifetime, but he started the campaign for us to have President's Day.
In his will, he left the association his house and several bonds. They used much of those proceeds to pay for this sculpture of Lincoln that still sits on the portico at the Buffalo History Museum. A lasting tribute to President Lincoln, a memorial to Julius Francis, and another chapter in the unknown stories of Western New York.